So I have some notes here. We're just going to go through in this video some notes on Kangen water, and we're going to go through it in the order that I believe to be valuable to you, so that because I suspect this stuff may be somewhat notable to be aware of and know. So Kangen water, which is clinically termed "quote unquote" electrolyzed reduced water, when seeking to learn about the benefits, these terms can also be utilized as keywords in your researching efforts. So you can see it on screen here. Some of the terms that you can utilize when you're actually doing some research about this. And the reason why I mention it is because there's actually a lot of interesting findings that you'll be able to discover utilizing these search terms. And what you will also discover, and I'll make this really readily apparent, I actually show this in the video as well, how these terms actually relate to electrolyzed reduced water or Kangen water. So you'll be, again, as I was saying, you're going to be able to find a wealth of information using these terms on the beneficial effects of this type of water with that type of chemistry and these specific characteristics. So obviously, deuterium depletion, molecular richness and of molecular hydrogen, and or electrochemical activation of the water. So, this quote by Leonardo da Vinci is actually quite interesting, and I picked up on it when I saw it, and you will also be able to become aware to the significance of it as well, is when you actually learn about deuterium depleted water. So as you can see, if you read over this, you can pause the video and read the quote by Leonardo da Vinci here. And then in this next slide, I'm actually going to show you that. Let's see and look as to what happens when plants are watered with water with a deuterium content level that is either significantly lowered or somewhat higher. And you'll see what it's able to do. Basically, as you can see on the screen, the more deuterium that's in there, the more slower the growth process of the plant, if there is any growth whatsoever, when the water content, the deuterium in the water content that is utilized to water said plant is lower, actually helps the plant to grow demonstrably a lot faster. And this actually would also correlate with a field known as electroculture. And the reason why it would correlate is because, well, I'll show on screen here as well, there's actually history of people or figures, notable individuals, who would actually utilize electrolytic water to water their crops and their plants to help them, well, increase their yield and, well, basically increase the rates and rapid nature of the growth of their crops and plants. So I think this is all quite interesting. But this, again, is all stemmed and is able to be catalyzed through the, well, product of electrolyzed reduced water or electrolysis water. So I'm going to show on screen here as well some other texts that you can actually read specifically on molecular hydrogen. And then there's also going to be some texts that are going to be showed on screen specifically relating to deuterium depletion. And also, finally, one that is going to be termed or has relevance to electrochemically activated water, and which is actually going to be in turn connecting us to this figure here, which is Ignat Ivanov Ignatov, who actually trio authored a mathematical model of Kangen water, basically validating its significance and its validity when it comes to, well, wellness. And they'll be able to extrapolate on that. It's a bit more of a complex article, but of course, you know, we have things like ChatGPT and things of that nature to help us to actually understand some of the terminology that's found in there. And that's basically it. So for those of you who are interested in potentially getting into contact with me to actually get the technology behind it, you can actually book a discovery consultation call, and I'll be happy to have a chat with you. Just make sure you click the link, and then you can book in your cold beer that way. Okay, so this next part of the video, we're just actually going to cover how to use Kangen water. And the reason why I think it's significant to actually talk about this in particular is because it was unbeknownst to me that there would need to be, you know, a kind of how-to video, because it's fairly straightforward. You just press a button on the machine and then you start drinking the water. But you know, that has to be taken a bit more austerity, I guess, and taking into consideration a bit the you know, the minutiae and the granular, you know, details and such. So for instance, you actually have to sort of, let's say, you have to adjust, and you have to allow your body some rendering time, let's say. So you can't just start drinking the highest pH setting, for instance. There is already information out there that basically has informed people that, well, high pH and extremely alkaline water is somehow not good for you, for lack of a better phrasing. It can cause certain different issues. But the alkalinity of Kangen water is not, they say it's alkalized. So the alkalinity, if anyone knows anything about what alkalinity is, basically I'm going to go on a tangent here, but I don't want to digress too much. We're going to get into how to use Kangen water very shortly, but I'll just say this since we're on the note. If you understand what alkalinity and alkaline is, it's basically just certain substances that have additional electrons. That's all it is. And in this instance, hydroxide ions, which is just OH. So it's just negative hydroxyl ions. And in some instances, what can be causing the higher amount of hydroxide ions and thus having a higher pH and level of alkalinity is, well, things likened to bicarbonate soda and other things. So they can cause a buildup of alkalinity in your system and can cause what is quote unquote known as alkalosis. But that isn't actually the issue with, from my understanding, Kangen water. Again, I'm happy to be proven wrong here. There's been other people talking about how, you know, an over excess amount of alkalinity or hydroxide ions can cause mayhem, so to speak, for lack of better phrasing. But that isn't what's happening with electrolyzed water, insofar as I'm aware. Again, there is other information out there that may state otherwise. Please don't take my words gospel or absolute fact. Take it with a grain of salt, and yeah, doing your own research. Anyhow, how to use Kangen water? Let's get into it right now. So, how do you use it? So basically, you have to, again, slowly make your body adjusted to this different type of water, especially if your body is overly acidic and is in a certain state that that is, well, has involved your body accumulating a lot of different toxins. And so if you drink this water, you're actually going to experience very profound detox-like effects. And so you're going to have to follow suit with the following instructions. I'm actually just going to provide them on the screen so you can just read them. It'll just make it a lot more easier to digest it, although maybe I should read it out. I'm going to read it out. That's a great idea. I'm going to go grab that and we're going to read it out together. Okay, I'm going to add it on the screen. Hopefully, maybe I can add some captions in the video. Maybe I'll utilize caption rendering thing. Okay, so this is by David Carpenter, who is a naturopath and a clinical acupuncturist and amongst other things. So he is a doctor. He's, of course, probably most probably be considered one that is alongside the fringe, or more so complementary integrative functional type of complementary medicine, since he's more so in line with the natural kind of approaches. Anyhow, so how to use Kangen water. So the Enagic Kangen ionized water generated technology produces 7 different types of water. 3 different levels of alkaline: Kangen drinking water, clean water, beauty water, strong alkaline water, and strong acidic water. Although Kangen water has special properties, it does not cure anything. Okay, that's very notable. It has, however, been shown to assist the body in creating better balance or homeostasis. To help achieve this homeostasis, I've found the approaches and information listed below to be helpful. Getting started drinking Kangen water. It is recommended that everyone who chooses to drink Kangen water start by drinking the 8.5 pH water. Start by drinking the 8.5 pH water. That's very significant. The Kangen water is obtained by pushing the button, as indicated on screen, on the front of the machine, which I'll show on the screen as well. Multiple pushes will move you. So whatever option you choose, that will be the water in which it's going to be produced. And the water that you choose is dispensed at the top of the flexible hose, except for, well, the 11.5 and 2.5. Moving on. So drink at least half your body weight in ounces each day. If you do physically demanding work, participate in strenuous athletics, or are dealing with, quote, sickness issues, unquote, you need to drink more Kangen water to help your body move towards and achieve homeostasis. In these situations, it is recommended that you drink at least 3/4 of your body weight in ounces, and drinking 1 ounce per pound of body weight per day produces real, quote, miracles, unquote. It is my observation that those people who drink a minimum of 3/4 of their body weight in ounces of Kangen water per day see the quickest results. And I'm going to showcase a table on screen here so that you're able to get an idea of what those metrics and numbers look like. So after successfully drinking the suggested amount of 8.5 pH water for 2 weeks, quote, and in brackets, quote unquote, successfully means that you are not experiencing any discomfort while drinking the water, other than, well, frequency of urination, then you may choose to increase the water pH level up to the 9.5 pH setting. Continue drinking the suggested amount of water at this setting each day for at least 2 more weeks. After successfully drinking the suggested amount of 9 pH water, again meaning that you are not experiencing any discomfort while drinking the water other than frequency of urination, then you may choose to increase the water pH level up to the 9.5 pH setting. Okay. We had somebody who, if I haven't already mentioned that, somebody who's I've loaned the machine out to, himself and their family are actually experiencing what is being termed here by Dave Carpenter as cleansing symptoms or detox effects. So I'm going to read here. Occasionally we find people that experience quote-unquote cleansing symptoms. These are typically caused by the body releasing stored toxins and acidic wastes. If you experience any quote cleansing types of symptoms, such as headaches, skin eruptions, loose bowels, constipation, coughing, etc., when you start on the 8.5 pH water, then you should increase the amount of water you are drinking to help neutralize and flush the toxins from your system. If you experience these symptoms after increasing the pH of the water you are consuming, then go back to the last pH setting that you were able to drink without experiencing these symptoms and increase the amount of water that you consume until these symptoms stop. There is no prize for getting to the 9.5 pH water quicker than someone else. So this was gracefully written by Dave Carpenter. I'm going to show an image of him on screen if I'm not already edited that in already. And you can actually do some research and maybe even potentially investigate his material in which he's provided. He's definitely a big proponent of the water. I'm not too sure what he's doing these days. I'm aware that some of his content was published on YouTube in former years. Nonetheless, this has proved to be somewhat useful knowing. This is actually quite new to me, even in spite of having owned the machine for as long as I've had it. I never really found it or to necessary for myself to look into this stuff because, quite frankly, I didn't experience any detox effects personally. But that doesn't mean that no one else is going to. So it's important that we take this into account and into consideration. Anyhow, that's the how to use Kangen water part. I may make a follow-up video about this, just so people can know if this is anything that's useful to anybody. But I do think it is notable to the individuals, especially individuals in which disclosed to me that they were experiencing some type of cleansing-like symptoms or detox effects, and hopefully that is all well and good now, and it has run its course, and they are all fine and healthy. Anyhow, I believe that will be the video. And okay, so for those of you who are actually wanting to get the technology and the device responsible for creating electrolytic hydrogen-rich deuterium-depleted water, and amongst other different water types. You can just book in a discovery call. I think that would probably be the most appropriate and best step forward in terms of actually making the process a lot more seamless. I can give you my identification number, but just to make it easier for you guys, you could get it. It'd be easier just to have a chat on a discovery session. So this would apply to anyone who is in anywhere that there's a NAGIC head office, and you happen to be located in that specific region that has an office. You can purchase it, and I can actually help you on that discovery session. So if you're in New Zealand or Australia, obviously, at the moment at least, obviously, and America, and anywhere else where a NAGIC happens to be, I can actually help you with that. So just again, book in that discovery session, and then we can go from there. See you then. So.